We are indeed just that, the main event.
That's right.
Kicking off 2024, yours truly, Kazzeo.
And AV. And that voice you just heard, I think you're going to hear it again.
In just a second.
I'm just foreshadowing. I think you want me to run the records.
Well, first, you are tuned in to 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingue here in Monterey and Santa Cruz County's 104.1 FM in San Benito County.
As well as DJKazzeo.com for everyone, everywhere else in the world.
And now you may run the records back.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Now let's see where I'm at. No, there we go. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Ever Living Sound and Slim Line Mother bring the real back. Soul Rocka featuring J Live. We'll Recognize Real, the Kurt Kazzeo remix. AZ and Buck Wild featuring Farrah Monch, Go Time. That's a good one right there. Mercy, the Harlem Kid and Castle Money Beats, Good Morning. Stallone and Weathers featuring OC, Convertible Steez. Ed O.G. featuring Greg Nice with Greg Nice. That's really the name of the track?
Yeah.
I had to fact check, sorry. The One Chadio.
It's not a political debate.
No. The One Chadio with Madness. Speaking of madness. Kaz. Stoneham. I said it right. Awesome. With Stand, Shoddy, and
Just say Tev 95.
Thank you. Shoddy and Tev 95 with Mic Check. And then we kicked it off with Six Figure Digga featuring Skyzoo, Torway, and J Live with The Chase.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, as alluded to, we are joined in studio, very special guest. She goes by the name of 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. What's happening, young lady?
Hey.
How you been?
Thank you for having me back. I've been great.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen you. Maybe 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Well,
something like that.
It's been a long time since you've been in the studio.
That's
true,
yes.
true. So, there's a lot of things to talk about with you. Obviously, you're probably one of the hardest working artists that I know. I always, every time I go online and social media, it's like, I got this project with this person, and I'm doing this, and I'm mixing this one down, and I'm mastering this one. It's like, how do you sleep? Do you sleep?
I try to. Honestly, I'm trying. That's probably one of the New Year resolutions is try to be in bed by at least 12. But I be going to bed late because I want to just get everything done. So for me, it's if it's not done, I got to keep pushing myself just because that's my work ethic. I can't sleep unless I get it done, or at least I get something written down, my notes or anything like that, just to,
What would you say is your, from start to completion, what's your average average time per song?
From me mixing it and mastering as well?
Well, coming up with the concept, writing, and then, going, recording, and, mastering, mixing everything down.
Yeah,
What's the average turnaround time?
I think it just depends on where I'm at physically and mentally, but I've had a song done within 2 days. That's me being a perfectionist, but it could be as fast as 1 day. It could take as long as a month. So really it just depends, really.
Has there ever been a time when you had something and you're everything is just working and it's all falls into place in a half hour?
Songwriting wise, yeah, but mixing probably not. Just because I sometimes if I'm overdoing it, ear fatigue is real. So I'd be hearing things that are really probably not even there. Right. So I gotta take a break and just relax on that.
And then when you be trying to mix something down, you'll hear a knocking or something, and you'd be like, where's that coming from? And then you realize that husband's in the other room chopping some lettuce or something for a salad.
Chopping lettuce. That's...
no.
What, when you make a salad, you chop lettuce?
Yeah, I was thinking, at least you didn't say chop onions.
No,
because then you might hear crying. That's where my head went.
No, not at all. So,
can't stop onions, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Onions are bad news. I hate onions.
Yeah,
I don't. But
you just had a show recently at, what was the place called?
That was the Little Hill Lounge at El Cerrito.
So, what was the takeaway from all that? Because you mentioned like I thought I heard you say something about like there was like some old people rhyming there or something.
It wasn't old people. It was the cooler heads. It's a bunch of gentlemen that are older than myself, but they've been DJing for a long time, and they had their 1-year anniversary, so that was the show. But what he told me was that was the first hip-hop show that they had at that venue, so that was really cool to be a part of.
So you broke it in.
You were part of history.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's dope.
No, it was
nice.
Cool.
We're gonna get into. You got some more shows coming up in the next few days, so we're gonna get into that in a little while. And I got a bunch of 1 a.m. songs. Got a shout out. I didn't get the guy's name, but one of your fans from Watsonville called in earlier, and he was like, "I'm waiting to hear 1 a.m." And I'm like, "Well, hold tight. She's coming. She's coming."
And here you are.
you can't rush the artistry that is 1 a.m.
Yes.
Hey, thank you for tuning in.
Well, I always wondered, what does the AM stand for?
One Almighty. Yeah.
All right.
I see.
Dang.
I see.
I feel like script. You're gonna have to have an album out called like Scriptures or something with that. I mean, it's something.
It wouldn't be surprising because I know that she. You lean that way. You're very. You do a lot of faith-based stuff, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say spiritual. I mean, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. So I would say that, I guess. But
that's cool.
I mean, for my name, it's kind of like both meanings. So 1 a.m. is like representing me as a young kid, just staying up late making music, but also tying into my faith. So it's kind of cool. It works out.
Double meaning. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's what it's all about, man.
No,
you got to have mystique. And see, that's the essence of a good artist, that you produce things that allow multiple interpretations.
Hey, there you go.
So it's like if you look at a good painting, you're like, well, I think what he was going for here. And if you talk to the painter, they're like, that's not at all what I was going for, but, thank you.
Wait a minute. When's the last time you went to a museum, Kaz?
I'm more cultured than you would even believe.
No. I'm actually intrigued. I want to make that the topic of this conversation. No,
that'll be for another time and place.
I know.
Another time and place.
I'm kidding.
Of all the people that you've worked with, because, I mean, it's like a who's who of, like, local South Bay talent. I mean, you've had Kai, there's been Angel, there's been Senor Gigio, Khan. A lot of people. Who would you feel most comfortable working with?
That's kind of a hard one, but
who gets 1 a.m. the best?
I want to say Senior Gigio, because I feel like we match each other's work ethic. I'm hard at work with the mixing and mastering. He's hard at work with the visuals, getting all the project details together, and we both hold our own, so we're always communicating, like, hey, you got to do this, hey, this is deadline, da-da-da, and we just get stuff done, so shout out to him.
What's been, because you've done so much work with him, what's been or has there been one time where you guys really butted heads and you were like, no, that's not how it's going to go?
To be honest, I don't think we've ever butted heads yet. And we have 3 projects already. 1 is already released, 2 in the works. So
I knocked on wood for that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
No problem.
We approach the process with love and understanding and respect for one another. So if we do disagree, we have a civil conversation, and it's not like, nah, this is my way, da-da-da. Like, we don't do that. So, yeah.
Okay.
I like that. No,
and it in no way would indicate that there wasn't any love between the two of you. It would just be like, when you're so believing in your passion and your artistry, sometimes you can get to the point where you're like, no, that doesn't fit with what I'm trying to say, and you guys would get in, having a disagreement over it, argument, if you will. And I just thought, because you always hear about bands fighting with each other in the studio, like, hey, your guitar riff wasn't, what it should have been, or you missed that drum roll.
Yeah,
or,
what's up with your bass?
Yeah,
man?
exactly.
What are you doing? Like, who taught you how to play? Yeah, that kind of.
So you've never had an issue where he said to you or you said to him, man, you were slurring that last word. It was I can't understand what you're trying to say right there.
Well, I mean, there's always like constructive feedback that we give each other, so it's not like we're just like, yeah, that was dope, let's move on. No, like there's always some constructive feedback, but it's with respect and with love, so there's never really any of that, like any hostility or anything. We're just chilling. We love what we do, and we want to get it done with high quality, and we know that what we're working on is very powerful, so
that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up. All right, so we're going to take a quick pause, run a public service announcement, and I got 2 from 1 a.m. Track you did with an artist named Glorious.
Yes.
Bring It Live. And then speaking of Senor Gigio, Mighty Long Time right after that. So stay tuned. We'll be back with 1 a.m. in just a minute right here at 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingüe.
Stay tuned.
I think one of the most interesting sounds on that record is that kind of like reversed sound, like a tinny reverse sound deal right there. Was that something that you put into that, or who produced that song?
Nah, man, I don't want to say the wrong information. I honestly can't. Oh, no.
I'm not really going to fact check.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't really remember, to be honest.
She's done so much work and worked with so many producers.
Yeah.
She can't remember them all.
I'm so sorry.
Back in the building right here, 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingüe. Yours truly, Kazzeo.
And AV.
Special guests.
1 a.m.
That's right. Talking about a couple of your records right there. You and Senor Gigio, Mighty Long Time. Before that, yourself and Glorious, Bring It Live. I was wondering, how many EPs do you have out? Because seriously, I by my count, it's like 13 or 14.
Not a bad thing.
I think I counted 20 because I have stuff as like Golden Trees. Mm-hmm. I have stuff that's unreleased that you guys will soon hear as well. But I'm pretty sure it was about 20 when I counted.
So, how, as far as like the space between releases, do you have a kind of a protocol for that? Like you say, like I'm going to put something out and then I'll wait like 3 months, maybe 6 months, I'll put something else out, or just like, I'm just going to get everything out right away?
Nah. I'm trying to be more intentional with my releases. But I do... My main thing is like I always want to have something out for summer because I love summer.
Right.
And winter just because I like to keep like the creativity going.
Right.
Not so much at the end of the year because there's so much going on with the holidays.
Right.
But I try to keep it going, and I guess it's just if it feels right. So obviously I'm not gonna release like an EP a few weeks out from an album or a few weeks out from a single. I'll try to space it out and try to
No, I know you had some good backing. I believe it was like the Santa Cruz Art Council or something along those lines.
Wow.
Is there going to be a follow-up to that project, or?
So that was for Window. That was released, I believe, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So during the pandemic, that was like kind of everything just went downhill. So and then that was actually followed up by Window Side B. So there actually is a follow-up. That one wasn't sponsored by the Arts Council, but very grateful for that, though. That was really cool.
Right. And they actually had you perform out there at the that little plaza.
Yeah.
In Santa Cruz there downtown. So that was cool. It was a little bit of a cold night, but you heated it up.
Hey.
You got the mic hot. So speaking of that, you have a show coming up. I believe it's Friday night.
Yeah.
I have no idea where Albany, California is.
Yeah,
but
good question.
give us some insight on that.
Yeah, North Bay. It's called The Coolest Dopest New Year Rap Show Ever. It's January 5th. Doors open at 8 p.m. 860 San Pablo Ave, Albany, California, at the Ivy Room. So this is going to be our second time having a New Year's show.
And it's pretty inexpensive to get into, so you don't have to worry about dropping a rent check on it.
No.
Like some places. But it's yourself and who else?
Yeah, Senior GGO, DJ Steezo, VJ Gabby, T Venom, Abstract Poets, and myself.
Yeah, so VJ Gabby and Senor Gigio. Now you actually had a song with them on I think it was Gigio's last album that we played a few times here on the show. Nobody's cool as you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's it feel to be on? Because I think that was probably the best song on that album. How did it feel like being part of like a bigger posse cut like that? Because usually it's you and one other artist. But this was like, there were like 4 artists on it. So how did it feel to be placed in that? And did you have the opportunity to pick where you were placed on it because you were the last one to go?
Well, yeah.
True.
First off, I want to say shout out J. Roz because she was also the other female on that song. But actually, I didn't really ask where I would be on. He was just like, hey, I got this beat. Like, just go ahead and rap on it. And then I think the way it felt right at the end where that switch up happens and I'm coming right after J. Roz to just kind of like finish everything that was said, because nobody's cooler than you.
That's right. You gotta let them know. You know.
Was that beat yours?
No.
One you rapped to? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That was all Gigio's project.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know for a little while you were doing contests where you were like putting up beats for people to rhyme over and like have like a bar contest or
it's called I'm All
That's
Bars
so dope.
contest.
Yeah, so any plans to do stuff like that in the new year? Or?
It's been some time. I'm definitely thinking about it, but I've been putting more energy into my Artist at Work podcast, kind of just talking with artists and kind of sharing more education and information about what it's like being an independent artist.
Nice.
So I'm not too sure if I'll continue with the I'm All Bars contest, but, if I get more people to actually ask about it, then maybe we'll see,
Speaking of that, the podcast, how can people find that?
Yeah, so if you go to im1am.com, you can check that out, or if you are on Instagram, at the Breakaway Artist Society. That's basically where it is, but
Okay, so is it on any other formats like
yeah, my bad. It's on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes,
Okay.
Google Podcasts.
Okay. I'm pulling it up right now.
Breakaway Artist Society or
Subscribe.
Artists at Work podcast.
No, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So how many episodes deep are you on that?
Oh man, could we just? Yeah, I want to say maybe 15 to 18 maybe.
Who are some of the people that you've had on?
We've had, let's see, Angel. We've had the what's that DJ collective? Female.
She's asking her husband right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ruka Records.
Okay.
When it was Let's Up a Queen and Soul Shine. We've had Active Poet, who's an artist in San Jose. He's going to be the next release. We have Senior Gigio. Just a lot of different artists. And I want to just throw out there a call to any female artists that are singing or do digital print or anything. Come out and be on the podcast. I would love to interview you.
There you go. If they want to connect with you, is there like an email address or just hit you up on social media?
Breakaway Artist Society at gmail.com. Go ahead and email or just find us on YouTube or Instagram.
There it is, man. There it is. So we're going to keep talking to 1 a.m. for about another half hour or so. Got to run a station ID for the station, obviously. And then I got 2 more from 1 a.m. And they are, let's see what they are. Let It Fall and Enough with Miss Incredible. So we're going to run those right now, and we'll be back. If you want to talk to 1 a.m., give her a call, 831-758-5432. The hits just keep on coming. 1 a.m. right there, featuring Miss Incredible. That one's called Enough. Before that, 1 a.m. by herself, Let It Fall. So, I mean, with all these projects you're doing...
I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just won.
No, just go right ahead.
No, you've been asking a lot.
I know. I'm just teasing you. Dude, go.
I appreciate it. So yes, with all the projects, thank you for that transition, that lead in there to my question. So you were talking about, having MCs do beat battles over, your beats.
Yeah.
You ever thought about remixing an album with your beats? Oh, I think I just might have sparked.
You might have sparked an idea. I mean, that would be something cool. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Like an acapella, and you just think, hey, what kind of beat can I like? If I were to produce for this artist, how would I make that?
Hey, that would be fun to get the
There you
producers
go.
involved.
There you go.
I would be down.
Who would be somebody that you'd like to do something like that for?
Well, I'd love to get Kai to get to get some remixes, but I don't know. I'm open to it, to anyone really. Like
Now Kai, if I remember correctly, he lives out in Seaside.
Gilroy.
Oh, I thought he lived in Seaside.
No, he was going to college in Santa Cruz, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's all a small community, so he's close enough.
Yeah.
What about somebody who's underground, somebody who's on the radio, like an artist that we know of? Who is somebody you would be like, man, I'd love to like produce for that person, and then you get the acapella. Like, who would be? You can name anybody too. You can say 2 Chainz for all I know. I'm just giving examples.
Man, that's a hard one to think about.
But now you can always come back to it.
I'm gonna say an artist that I'm not sure if you guys know, but she goes by Wande.
No,
that would be really cool.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
No, I might have to check her out.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Now I know
all right.
You had the opportunity a while back to open up for Saw Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I have to wonder, did you slide her like a tape of your stuff or anything?
I did. I gave her a CD. I can't remember which CD we gave her, but I thanked her too for giving an amazing show and just being an inspiration to women like me. So yeah, of course I did.
Please listen to my demo. No, I just thought of that song.
And was there any like reply or anything, or?
I never received anything, but I didn't expect anything.
I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yeah.
So
I got to rap for Snow the Product too back in the day.
Oh, man.
But I'm not gonna expect things. They're artists themselves.
I think I saw her on an episode of Queen of the South.
Oh.
I think she was a character on there. She was like a drug dealer's niece or something.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, foot in the door.
Hey,
why not? Obviously, 1AM does more than just rhyme, and you also sing. Are we looking towards any full just singing albums or EPs?
Honestly, it's funny that you asked that because I've been feeling that way. Maybe not a full-on album, but maybe to start with an EP, some R&B, soul. I really, really dig neo-soul stuff, so we'll see. I'll be experimenting and playing with stuff and
with neo-soul stuff. That's awesome.
I love it.
Yes. Jill Scott, Music Soul Child back in the day, Eric Robertson, even now. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
You got to expand.
Yeah,
you can't always do the same thing, Yeah. It's just but you always have to remember what your core is. So as long as you recall that, it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Andre 3000 made a flute album.
I keep seeing people talking about that. I haven't heard
you
yet.
You're the second person to bring that up.
I'm just joking. But he did.
But is that true? He did something?
Oh, yeah. I listened to some of it, and all I could think of is, it's perfect music for if you go to, a sauna or a spa.
So is he actually a flautist?
Yeah. He plays, he does. Actually, for a flute album, it's really good. But it's I may as well just go to Aqua Blue down the street and listen to it. That's totally massage music.
It's it
is.
But who is he gearing that for? The dentist office?
The first song, not to talk about this all, go off topic too much, but I'll just say this as an example. The first track is really long, in the sense of it's a long title. I really wanted to make a rap album, but this just came to my head instead. So I did this, and it's 7 minutes of him playing the flute with
I'll have to check this out because
I'm not lying about this.
But what I will just throw out there is that when I first started writing, it was poetry, and what I first aspired and wanted to be a singer. So, but I didn't like my singing voice, so I just started rapping. But now I'm getting back into it. I was in choir too. I really enjoy.
You also play guitar, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to get better.
She's she's very modest that way, but she's got a lot of avenues she could go down.
Well, the fact that you're even doing that, experimenting, even if you're like, oh, I'm not that good, you're doing it.
Yeah.
So that is, I'm not saying you're not good, you're saying that.
Exploring all the avenues of expression, and at some point, you get better as you keep practicing, you keep messing up, whatever, you keep progressing. So
it's the only way to do it.
Yep.
It's the only way to do it. Once again, if you want to follow, connect, or correspond with 1AM, she's got a lot of social media out there, so why don't you give those out?
Yeah. You can find all my social tags at iam1am.com, iam1am.com, or if you want to find me on, I don't know, Google me or something, at it's 1am somewhere, and the one is the actual number 1.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kaz is trying to pull it up right now.
No, I was seeing somebody was texting me right now.
Oh. I hate when that happens during the show.
Believe me, there's a lot of times people actually try to call me while I'm on the air. I'm like, that I'm doing my show. I'm not going to answer your call right now. Speaking of that, have you ever had anybody, like when you're performing, like call you?
Yes, I actually just take my phone and give it to my husband because I'm like, it'll be vibrating or something. And I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, so.
That one must be like one of the most annoying things, like, because if you're trying to concentrate on your verse and everything, and all of a sudden it's like vibrating. You're like, oh, what? And like all of a sudden you like miss a line, and like people are like, boo.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't gotten that, but
Well, we got news on another show you got coming up. We're going to get into that in just a little while here.
Oh, boy.
Going to take a quick
awesome.
pause as we usually do, and then coming back with 2 more from 1AM. Got something you did with Angel and another one you did with Senor Gigio, and that's coming up right after this important announcement. Just like, peanut butter and jelly, 1AM and Senor Gigio just go good together.
For real.
That's just it right there. That one right there, that one is Righteous Ways. Before that, yourself and another artist. It's About That Time.
Yeah.
So it is almost about that time. 1AM's got to get going in a couple minutes here, but we wanted, before we finish, AV and 1AM were having a little conversation off air.
It felt nice and natural, and I'm like, oh, we gotta save
you gotta
this
do that on the air. So get into what you guys were talking about.
So we were talking about you making beats, and we're talking about the MP, and I'm like, man, I gotta pull out my machine, because like this is like, just talking with you, it's like inspiring. I'm like, just for me though, and I'm not trying to make it about me, but you were talking about how you haven't produced, which is not a bad thing. You're still working.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I'm putting a lot more time into learning mixing and mastering.
Okay.
Sound design as well, but it's been probably a year and a half, like I said, since I produced really just like my own beats. But I mean, I've been blessed to have shout out to Adrian Perez for sending me some beats. Shout out to 808 out in Gilroy. We got something going on too. So I've been blessed to be able to collaborate with other producers, and that gives me more time to focus on the writing, focus on the engineering side. So I'm cool with that, but I am itching a little bit to get back into making some beats.
No, I mean, just talking about it, you looked up the Flute album, you're like, all right,
I gotta hear this. Talk about samples.
Well, yeah, or not.
Or not.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
Yeah, when nobody said that. I want FBI texting you. We don't need that. But so that's cool that you just taking a step back. You, like I said, you are like universal right now. That's what I'd have to say, and they own Def Jam too, so maybe you'll end up there. It'll come full circle. We'll see. Oh, we knew her, man. We had her in the studio a long time ago.
Hey.
You're like, hey, what up, 1AM? You're like, hey, what's up? With the glasses on, with the sunglasses on.
Oh man,
I'm kidding.
Do I know you?
Yeah, right.
It'd be something like that.
Yeah.
No.
So, big a week from this Friday in Santa Cruz, you got a show coming up with a few of your contemporaries. Give the info out about that.
Yeah.
It's another reasonably priced show, so come check that out. But fill them in.
So the show is called Dig It in the Crate. It's out here in Santa Cruz at the Crate Place. It's an all ages event, $10 entry, 21 and up, full bar. Friday the 12th, 8 p.m. We're going to have Khan, Persian Butter, Maze of Table List, and myself, as well as a freestyle cypher. So you guys should come out. And
when is this exactly?
This is January 12th.
A week from this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then I also saw that there were you're gonna have your merch table out there. You're gonna be out there selling some stuff, slanging some stuff.
There's gonna be a giveaway too. Just throw that out there. So
there you go. And maybe, just maybe, yourself and Khan will do this next song that we're about to play as we let you out of the building. Live life.
The limo's waiting.
Yeah, exactly. The stretch Suburban is waiting.
We just joking.
So
someday.
In closing, any final words that you want to get into before we let you go?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's collaborated with me, supported me, everyone who's tuning in right now, everyone who is wanting to connect, but maybe you're nervous, but hey, hit me up. What's up? Let's work. I'm always just trying to encourage other people, and I appreciate the encouragement back. So I just want to say that. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being on. Honestly, we couldn't thank you enough. We are blessed, definitely, to have you on the show. Honestly,
thank you.
Always appreciate having 1 a.m. on the show.
The laid back energy is something we need every week.
It's just so because the world moves so fast.
It does.
And just somebody so laid back and just relaxed. It's a good vibe. It's good contrast.
Yeah.
So thank you, 1 a.m. for coming through. Again, we appreciate you. Make sure you get out there and check her out next Friday night in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, don't sleep.
Connect with her on social media. Go to it's1am or iam1am.com. And let's run it. A little something from yourself and Khan called Live Life.
Yeah, speaking of which, right?
Shout out Khan.
Exactly. All right. We'll catch you out there at the show.
Peace.